Welcome back. I do apologize. I did not put up a video last week. Life got in the way, and it's okay because today, the following week, the sun is shining. Everything's still going forward. But I would like to do a sort of lookbook of my signature dress that I wear all the time, because I did get one comment and compliment from a viewer, and they asked me why I was going to switch out from my signature dress, why I put center front seams in the signature dress, and some other things. So I'm just going to talk about the nature of me having a signature dress, which I started wearing when my 3 children were young, and I had to get them, as I said before, and I keep saying, I had to get them to 3 different schools on 3 different sides of town, all about the same time. So I needed something to put on, look good, and be able to accomplish that task, and that's when the signature dress was born, although it has been in the back of my mind many years before that. So I'm just going to jump right into it, and as I talk, I hope I will answer those questions. Why the signature dress? Well, I just answered that one. 2, why the center front seam? And 3, why do I want to change it? All right, so let's start, and I'm going to start with my oldest signature dress. This signature dress is my oldest. It used to be long sleeves. I cut off the sleeves because I don't like long sleeves. I am very, very protective of what I do like, and I don't like long sleeves. I cut off and the long sleeve. It has to be at least 20 years ago, and I have not even finished the sleeves because I always roll them up anyway. So this is a lovely corduroy that my daughter gave me as a birthday present. She gave me 3 yards of this and 3 yards of gray corduroy. I have worn out the gray corduroy. It was reinvented into many other things. I think a skirt, some applique on a jacket, and what have you. And this is the only dress that I do have left, and I still wear this corduroy. It is warm and friendly, and I just love it. And of course, it's my favorite. And it has stood the test of time. I machine wash it and I hang it to dry. I always hang my signature dresses. So this one is the oldest. So it puts it at she graduated from school in 2004. So it had to be 1999 when she gave me the fabric. And every time I wear it, I think about it. Best gift ever. Yeah, right along with power tools. Another signature dress, here it is, the same elements. The round neckline, the dolman sleeve, which is the age-old sleeve when they first started making shaped clothing called tunics. And here I've taken 2 different fabrics and combined them. I have a French toile print as the background, and then which was thrifted fabric, and then my daughter was cleaning out her stash, and I ended up with this big bold print. So I cut around it and did it as sort of an applique on this dress, and I was just impromptu. I love this. This is my favorite dress. You're going to hear that a lot because all of my signature dresses are my favorites. This one means a lot to me because the top is silk and the bottom is silk. The top was thrifted fabric. I think it was a pleated silk skirt I got at the thrift store. And the bottom was a bottom of a pleated shirt dress that my husband's aunt gave me. And it's all silk. And I've worn this one for years. I've worn it dressed up. I've worn it casual. I wash it in the washing machine. And here again, the only difference is after I wash it in the washing machine, undelicate, I fold it up and put it in the freezer until I'm ready to take it out, let it thaw, and press it out. I don't hang this to dry. Okay, that's the difference for that one. All right, this one, and I'm going quite quickly because I think I have 12 different ones, but can you see how even though it's the same basic shape, there's a different temperament. of presentation in each dress. This one was my use of a ethnic print. These were remnants from a pair of slacks and I think a bustier that I made for my daughter. And the top yoke is thrifted, and the green just happened to be good enough to match this other fan, and I love the magenta. I have a pair of hand knit socks with this in it. If you get a close up, you can see piece, 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 piece. I had to piece it together to get enough fabric, but I didn't mind. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Here again, with this one, I combined thrifted fabric with a thrifted wraparound skirt. I don't know if anybody remembers those circle wraparound skirt. Well, this one has an Indian print on it, and I wanted to use that print. So I did it with the V's, applique over. Then I did a little, like a yoke, like you have like on an apron, a bib design. And for the back, I added some definition to make the sleeve look like it was a set-in sleeve. I did button close, which was totally unnecessary for this neckline, so I simply stitched that, left the opening, but stitched the closure so I pull it over my head and continued the design all the way around. Here again, it's been worn, it's been washed, it's a good 10 years, 12 years old. My favorite. This one was an experiment in machine applique because I was practicing, and this is like a working sample, practicing the what do they call this, the blanket stitch on my machine. And so I did this design. It's not any language or anything, it's just random designs. It's not cussing anybody out or wishing anybody good luck. I did a little improv on the neckline. I put in a side slit and a pearl button, a vintage pearl button. The darker fabric is a man's shirt, extra large, and the lighter yellow is thrifted fabric in a honeycomb weave, 100% cotton. Here's another one that I made from a man's shirt. All of the stripe is men's shirting. I was able to, I do the extra large shirts at fantastic yardage. And the background green is thrifted fabric. And it was just a little piece of it. And I wanted to use it to make a dress. And keeping it all in my stash, I found that they melded really good together. So here I did kept the shirt design, I did like a shirt tail, added the border print, added my signature square. I always think these are signature. It just means they're repetitive for me. They're repetitive. So I always usually put a square there. And let me see. I didn't do that. And I just changed the yoke and made an open neckline here, which I do kind of like. And I roll up the sleeves. And I gave this a longer sleeve because I want a thicker cuff. So that's that. All the same features, but all a totally different aspect. This one, there's an earlier video of it because it's back in the day, and this is men's suiting. I ordered men's suiting. I washed it in cold water with shampoo, hair shampoo, because it has no dyes. I used one that didn't have sulfates and other minerals. And then I hang it to dry. I cut it all on the bias. Can you just see how floaty that is? All on the bias. You can see the folds as it hangs. And then I pieced it and use hand stitching just to highlight the seaming details. I always get lots of compliment. And there's my label in the back, this read Detroit, and that's what the patch always covered. That's why I put that square there to cover my label. So I really get a lot of wear out of this. It's been years, and it's finally, there's a moth hole there. So I'm going to do something creative for that. Because this dress, this is a staple. I love this. I got boots and socks, everything to go with that. I'm going to move on with this one. Now this one was interesting. This background fabric is a very old blue, teal blue green. It's old. It's a drapery fabric. It's from seasons bygone. But it was a lot of it. So that's why I picked it up, probably paid $1.99. And I kept looking at it and wondering what I could do. And the only way I could give this fabric back life was to start adding a series of prints to it. And that's what I did. So I did straight line prints using African fabrics. I used Indian fabrics. I used calicos. I've got some batiks in there. And on the back, I gave it a nice design. I even did some underarm design features, far corner, just repeating patterns and prints all along, even down to the hemline. And this dress, when I finished it, I said to myself, it still looks bad, but actually it looks better when it's on. And now it's my favorite dress. Some more impromptu fitting. This is improv, where I just took scraps one day on a Saturday and I just laid them out anyway, haphazard, because I wanted a pink dress. I wanted a pink dress. And so I created this inner panel, and my inspiration was the quilts of G's Bend. G's Bend was their quilts where they would just put pieces together. I did it scrap pieces on the sleeve seam, both sides, and then I did another very basic square, just adding strips, so I got a square in here. And this pink dress is so easy and comfortable. It's a waffle weave cotton, thrifted, and just Myriad scrap. So that's a stash buster right there. Now, I keep saying favorite, favorite, favorite. Okay, yeah, it's okay. This is one of my favorite dresses. And I wear this dress casual, I wear it dressy. I just wear it, okay? It's one of the longest ones I have. It's almost to the floor. And this big number 1 is very important because this dress was inspired by, and it's going to show up backwards, I think, on camera. And I'm going to see if I can stretch it out so it can be seen. You have to be odd to be number 1. Dr. Seuss. And I wore this one day because I just had been feeling it, and then I began to feel it. So that's all hand stitched right there, and then I used some pearl buttons from my stash to highlight as if it was a quote. And this by far, I still wash this in the washing machine. I wash it by itself, of course, and I hang it up to dry, and then I steam press it. So that is my top favorite. And now there's something that is evolving in the signature dress, and this is it. I used to love the signature dress because I didn't want anything on my neck. I didn't like it. And now, as I've gotten older, I want something up on my neck because my neck gets cold. And usually I'll wear a scarf or something. But this one right here is probably the way I'm going to be going for the signature dresses forward is I've added a nice collar, just a simple collar, and I'm going to be experimenting with different types of collars and a tab closure. It started off with 1.5 yards of this batik type fabric, or tie-dye fabric that I got at Joann's, so that was a fresh purchase. But all the pieces on the side of it are remnants from my stash. The stripe was remnant, and the soft blue denim at the side here was remnant. And I continued that big panel down the back. There's that signature square. Let me see. No label. Okay, no label. And then I bound the hemline. Look at that. Bound the hemline with pieces of fabric. So it's not just one straight piece there. I love this dress. I love this. All my signature dresses are my favorites. Every time I put one on, I'm happy that I've got that on. I have never resented wearing a signature dress when I go out. And the one that I have on now, and forgive me if I can't get back to give you a full view of it, because Now the dress I'm wearing now was a challenge. At the thrift store, my son-in-law and daughter brought a skirt. And they said, Mom, make a signature dress out of this. And it was just a skirt. So this one is tunic length, and I wear it with a slip that I've had for 40 years. But it wasn't a slip originally, it was a dress. So that's just to say, I thought I was going to move on and leave the signature dress behind. And the new items that you've seen me make from my stash, they're wonderful, but they're not, then they don't spark as much joy as the signature dress. So I think I'm going to stay with it for a little while longer. Cutting it with a seam down the front saves fabric and allows me to adjust my pattern so I get the fullness to fall from my breast and not from my shoulders. So I hope that helps everybody. Thank you for joining me, Denise Reed, in the Little Sewing Room, giving you my Denise Reed principles for living. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get out there and make something new. Be back with another video. And I'm in the mood for power tools again. I can't get over it. Take care. Have a wonderful day.